Hello and welcome to Pizza 360. I'm Daniel Lee Perea. With us today is our special guest live in the studio, Mr. John Arena. John owns 6 successful pizzerias and a chain called Metro Pizza, as well as a bakery called Lulu's. He is widely considered an expert in the field of pizza and teaches a college class on pizza concepts for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. John, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
Now, many people in the baking industry are gravitating towards having pizzas in their bakeries, but you own pizzerias and started a bakery. What was that transition like?
To me, that's a return to our original roots. At one time, there was no separation between pizza makers and bakers. You know, the skills are exactly the same, the tools are the same. Most of the pizza makers in the early days of pizza in the United States started out as bread bakers. So this is just really, it's nothing unusual about this, it's really just a return to our roots.
How is adding a bakery added to Metro's bottom line?
Well, for one thing, we're producing all of our own desserts now. We're producing all of the breads for our restaurant. We also have a wholesale component, so we're selling breads to other restaurants, to other cafes. So, and there's also, we have an opportunity to have a day part that we didn't cover in the past. Pizzerias traditionally are lunch and dinner businesses, and you've got a building that's not generating any income in the morning. So the bakery is open by 7 in the morning. It actually closes at 3. So you have an opportunity to capture business that you didn't have before, including catering business, because you can do breakfast events for businesses. It adds a completely new day part and income stream to your business.
What opportunities are there for existing pizzeria operators that really aren't ready to open a full-blown bakery, but may want to pursue some bakery items in their existing pizzerias?
You know, there are pizza makers doing that already that have really taken advantage of that. Many of them coming from bread baking backgrounds to begin with. Al Santillo in Elizabeth, New Jersey comes to mind as somebody whose family started out as bread bakers, and he continues to bake bread. And there are people that come to his pizzeria just to buy the bread because it's so high quality. Home Slice in Austin, Texas does an amazing cheesecake that they're doing right in their pizza ovens. There's opportunities for add-on sales. There's opportunities to really develop recognition for other food items and essentially use the same equipment, the same staff. You know, it's a matter of training them, of course, but you're using a lot of the same ingredients, especially bread baking and pizza making. They go hand in hand. It's flour, water, salt, and yeast. It's just a matter of how you put them together and what you're doing with them. You already have ovens.
Now, on the subject of ovens, there is some concern about flavor crossover. For instance, are your cinnamon rolls going to start tasting a little bit like pepperoni, or your pizza is going to start tasting like cinnamon rolls? I've
never had any experience with that. It's never happened. In our bakery, we have a full-blown bakery, so we're doing separate ovens for those items. For the savory items and the sweet items are not mixed together. But we've been baking bread in our pizza ovens for years, and there's never been any crossover of flavors. I think that's pretty much a myth. Now, to test your bakery concept in the field, you actually created a Lulu's on the Go vehicle that you took around Las Vegas for almost 2 years. Was this to market the new idea, or more just for field testing of your products? Both. The idea was to get recognition for a brand that previously didn't exist, to get recognized for doing something other than pizza, because our name in Las Vegas, we had been there for 30 years, so Metro Pizza was synonymous with pizza products and Italian-American products. So we wanted to expand our horizons. We wanted to have a brand where we could do things that were in our repertoire but wouldn't normally be accepted in a pizzeria. We knew that if we could execute great food on a truck, we would have no problem doing it in a bricks and mortar facility. So that was part of it. You know, it was part to get buzz. We got tremendous media coverage from the truck. We were doing unbelievable food on that truck. The truck component was a test kitchen and a marketing tool combined. A lot of people are getting into the food truck business, thinking this is going to be so cool. I'll go wherever wherever I think the customers are going to be. They think it's going to be fun because they see it from the customer side, and they say, wow, party in the parking lot, this is great. a food truck is a rolling restaurant, and restaurant equipment doesn't like to be bounced over speed bumps and taken down the highway. A lot can go wrong. Bureaucrats don't know how to handle them. There's always licensing issues. So it's, you can be driving your truck down the street and you cross over into another jurisdiction accidentally, and all of a sudden you're not licensed where you think where you need to be. You can prep all day for an event and get a flat tire on the way, which has happened to us, and you're waiting on the side of the highway for a tow truck. It's fun to a point, but there are a lot of hidden challenges in the truck business.
Now, what are some of the pitfalls that pizzeria operators should look out for just in general if they're thinking about getting into a bakery?
I think the main thing is a lot of pizza makers have always approached what they do almost by rote. They learn a recipe and then they do it without real careful control of the variables. Baking is more of a science. Everything has to be, every component has to be really carefully controlled, carefully measured in order to have consistency and to create a good product. The pizza making skills are related to baking, but you have to really be diligent about precision when you're baking. And the slightest change in temperature, the slightest change in moisture content, in measurements, can affect the finished product tremendously, change it to something else. It improves your pizza making because you become more aware of the effect of the variables.
What are some of the other trends that you're seeing in the pizza industry as a whole?
Well, the big one that everybody's talking about is, of course, that everybody wanted to be the next Chipotle of pizza. And of course, Chipotle has decided to become the Chipotle of pizza, so that's sort of a moot point now. But I really don't see a tremendous difference between these new fast casual pizza concepts and what a true pizzeria has always been. They're talking about how a customer can come in and select their toppings and put them on a pizza and get served quickly. Well, what's really new about that? Every artisan pizza maker has been, we always strive to make our pizzas as quickly as possible, and we always have customized our pizzas to the guest's order. So I don't really see what the novelty is. It's a repackaging of an old idea.
As successful as you've been in pizza, what's the number one piece of advice you can give to our viewers to help increase their bottom line?
The classic mistake that I see people make is, everybody gets into our business wanting to make a great pizza. Nobody says, I'm going to make the most mediocre pizza I can, or I'm going to make the worst pizza that I can make. The classic mistake to me is that a new operator will structure his pricing based on what his competitors are doing, with no regard for what it's costing him, he or her, to make a pizza. So the classic thing is they rent the space and then they go around to all the neighboring pizzerias and they grab a menu, and they look at their menu and they go, well, this guy's at $10 for pizza, so I've got to be at $9.50. Pizza is not a commodity. Your pizza is your pizza. What your costs are your costs. They might be completely different than somebody else's. So, for example, I run a very high food cost. If I were trying to, because I make the pizza that I want to make, I make the pizza that I'm going to be proud of. If I were trying to structure my pricing based on the guy that's across the street from me, he's got a whole different set of circumstances going on. So the main thing is charge what your food is worth. In New York recently there was a price war going on with pizza by the slice, and people were selling 90 slices for 99 cents. The problem for pizza operators is that 99-cent mark becomes the benchmark of what people think what we do is worth. Is my work not worth something? So I think what pizza makers have to do is recognize that what they do has value and communicate that to the customer, that the customer understands there's a difference between this pizza and a pizza that sells for 99 cents.
How do you communicate to the customer that thinks a pizza should be $5 the value of your pizza?
You have to do it by having a complete experience. You're not just selling what's on the plate, you're selling the entire experience, from how your employees answer the phone, to the quality of your facility, the packaging, the plate presentation, the quality of the ingredients. It's got to become obvious at every turn that this is a superior experience. You know, how does Bentley convince their customers that their car is worth more than a Hyundai? You know, you do it by making sure that the overall experience, every facet of that experience, from the textures of the fabrics to the sound of the engine, are better. Well, it's the same thing with your pizzeria. You know, if you're saying that you're providing a quality experience, that quality experience has to follow through to all of the senses. You have to have better seats. You have to have better lighting. You have to have better music, better walls, better building, better plates, better silverware. You have to be able to demonstrate that that experience is worth something. If we allow what we do to become a commodity, we're sunk. Because there's always going to be somebody bigger that can sell something for cheaper.
Well, John, thanks for taking the time to join us here on Pizza 360.
Thank you.
You can visit John and have some of his excellent pizza at any Metro Pizza location, or pick up any of his baked goods at Lulu's Bakery around the Las Vegas area. You can find more information at pmq.com, follow us on social media, and download our free app. For This Week in Pizza, I'm Daniel Lee Perea.